Dearly beloved, you have made it to the Dearly Beloved Unpod. This ain't a podcast, y'all. This is an oral storytelling project hosted by me, the Passion Doula, working to help women in femmes remember our badass selves. That's sexually embodied life force. Join us on the 1st and the 15th of every month. Like paychecks, we are a reliable way for you to feel whole, to feel connected, and to feel part of the Dearly Beloved Village. Enjoy.
Welcome to Dearly Beloved. I am the hostess, the Passion Doula, aka Alicia, and I am geeked out, to put it mildly, to be joined by the lovely and hysterical Angela Nissel. So thank you so much for being here. We'll be talking about this, I'm sure, but this book is brilliant. I've not yet read it, but I'm supposed to tell you straight away that my wife says, "Thank you so much for writing this book."
God,
Mhm.
you're going to start off by making me cry. Thank you.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
Tell her I said thank you. That means, I've just been getting so much love on it. And seriously, I'm like, that it feels good. It feels good.
Good. Good. Well, let's ground ourselves in the love and gratitude, and we'll
Hmm.
get started with the piece in a moment that gets us grounded. But just to situate us, the meditation is called Raspberry Beret, and it's in honor of Prince, who this story share is named after. And the reason that I am doing something weird just popped up on my screen. Hold on. The reason that I named Dearly Beloved is because not only of my lifelong love and adoration of Prince, but also just because of what he stood for, which was about community, love, and revolution. And so I wanted to bring forward this story share and really just connect with other women and femmes, particularly women and femmes of color who are just doing really dope shit in the world. And so, yeah, so thank you for being here. So I invite you to get your raspberry, and I'll just lead us through this really as quickly
Okay.
as possible. This is really technically supposed to be half hour, but in the interest of all things, we're going to keep it brief. Uh, and feel free if you'd like to shut your eyes for the beginning part, and we'll just take one deep breath together collectively. When you breathe in, say, "I'm breathing in the good air." And when you breathe out, say, "I'm breathing out the good air," to yourself. Okay. And then really just like love up on this raspberry. Look at it for all of its miraculous colors and plumpness and ridges. And you can even look really closely and you can see like the little bits of like fur on it. Um, it could feel really squishy in your fingers, but it's just so unique in its creation and no mistakes here, right?
Yeah.
And you can smell it if you'd like. Depending on how fresh said raspberry is, you might be able to smell its tartness and just take in a deep breath and really take advantage of that part of our abilities to smell if you have that ability. And then go ahead and just taste it. You don't have to put the whole thing in your mouth, but you can just taste a little bite of it and really see if you can like savor it. That's usually the face. That's usually the raspberry face. Yeah. Sometimes it like gets you kind of right here, like, but it absolutely packs this punch. And I think the reason I like doing things that slow us down is because it's just a reminder to just honestly savor all that life has to offer, you know? And in moments of chaos or actual moves or metaphorical transitions, when things are swirling all around us, to just be able to take some breath
Mm.
together. And also as a reminder too, like I think sometimes we wa- we we rush through this part when we gather, and sharing space to just be in each other's presence silently or otherwise, enjoying a raspberry or otherwise, is like the point, is the point. Yeah. So thank you for indulging in the grounding practice.
Are you kidding me? I'd do that all day. Are you kidding me? It's when I slow down my life, which I haven't done until recently, it's so much better. And even just the anticipation of tasting the raspberry, once I had smelled it, it just slowing down makes everything better.
Uh-huh. it's really hard though, right, to fight up against it. And it's like you're fighting up against, and what I've been thinking about more so lately is that it's not even just in our lifetimes, but also, and you spoke about this a little bit when we were talking about your book, which is that, we're carrying these like ancestral wounds and have really an obligation if we have the opportunity to slow down and rest and to be with each other. I'm really seeing it these days as like an obligation to take advantage of that because our ancestors didn't have that space, or maybe they did, and now they're like, "What are y'all doing working this hard? Y'all are crazy." You know what I mean? Like you're losing your minds. Yeah,
Yes, yes, no, yeah. I'm like the ancestors I knew, the ones that came right before me, the concept wasn't even in their vocabulary. It
slow
was be
down.
productive, be productive, be productive.
Yeah,
And the total United States thing of a person is worth more the more they can be productive. Ugh.
I know, and that shit runs deep, though. You know what I mean? So to that point around productivity, because I know that you're a busy ass human. Tell me a little bit more about you. I know your name, but for folks who may not know your name, your pronouns, if you feel comfortable sharing, and then if you feel called to talk about a Prince song that is really speaking to you at this particular moment.
I am Angela Nissel. I am she, and let's see. Right now, the Prince song "Because of You" that I have been thinking about all week is Raspberry Beret. And I know that's because I was like, I haven't had raspberries in so long. And Alicia wanted me to buy a raspberry. What are we doing with this raspberry thing? So
It could be
it's
anything.
just, and I've been looking at houses near Lake Minnetonka since we're moving. So
No
I'm
way.
uh, oh my God, I know I'm so grateful. We're renting a house out there before we find one that we want to buy, and I have a view of Lake Minnetonka. I'm like,
Oh my
yes.
God. Wait, have you seen Purple Rain lately?
Not late, like a couple years ago, I saw it in the park with a bunch of other
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Oh my God. That's all I think about is that scene in Purple Rain where he has her jumping into that lake.
I know. I cannot wait. I'm excited for my dog to hopefully they can play in he can play in the
Oh yeah. I love that.
lake.
I love that. Oh well, I'm glad that the meditation worked in that way too, just because I literally just looked over a sign in my wall that says love is the music of the soul.
Mm.
Just thinking a lot about the role that music plays in our lives. So I'm glad that, the meditation and our connection led you to think about that song, which then led you to like your physical place of where you're gonna live, so all things that are like helping to bring us home back to self. So that's
Yes.
that's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, you know me already. I'm Alicia. I use she, her pronouns. And the song that I was feeling right before this, because I always like to like ground and root in Prince for these things, is Darling Nikki. And for a few reasons. One is because today's Father's Day. And so I just got done talking to my dad and just thinking about how it was such a song that I listened to way too early, but I also it was just calling me. But I knew enough to know like I had to listen to it on low. But despite my listening to it over and over and over, it really wasn't until recently that I learned that that song was about a sex worker. I just thought it was a woman who wanted to like have sex, you know? Yeah.
I need to re-listen because I remember being too young to listen to it.
Huh.
But now, and as I get older, when you're younger, you don't really listen to
No.
lyrics. You're just like,
Yeah.
now I got to go back. You just blew my mind.
Yeah. Well, I credit Io, who wrote the book that also inspired this, who wrote a whole book and actually created a whole Prince theology of Prince in St. Paul because she calls herself I'm gonna mess it up. She's a pastor, but she wrote a whole book called Dearly Beloved, Spirituality and Prince. And she's the one who talks about that song being about a sex worker. So yeah, highly recommend. I'll send you the link after we get done here.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, she's brilliant. Um, okay, so having said that about me and Prince being too young and all the things, I'm going to transition us to another aspect of Prince, which is Morris Day and the time. So it's time. My handy dandy time purse. It actually does work. I like tease that I'm going to be like Flavor Flav one day and just walk around with it. But in the essence of this being like a proper story share, I wanted us both to be able to contribute to the story component of the offering. So I'll go ahead and draw questions at random. There's
Okay.
some really juicy ones in here, so we'll see how many we get to. I'll ask the question, and then if you feel called to answer it, and if I feel called,
Okay.
I'll answer it first too. Okay, question one. What would you do if money wasn't an issue, and how much money would it take for you to feel it's not an issue? The million dollar question. Hmm.
Yeah, enough money for me. I don't have a enough money so I don't have to worry about anything. Like in terms of food, water, shelter, that's all. If that's taken care of and I can have a couple good thrift stores, because that's where I get all my clothes at anyway. If I
Mhm.
can have a couple good thrift store outings, if the immediate people in my vicinity have no needs, I think I'm good.
Mm. Mm. I feel the same. I think like as I've gotten older, I've realized that this idea that money and worth go together is so gross, And so to disentangle yourself from that and just think about for sure basic needs and then being able to have some funds to be able to think about adventures large and small, like we don't always have to spend money to have a good time. Um, and I also want to go to Thailand. And, I can't just wish on that. Like that would take actual cash. So, but money for that would be lovely.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I mean, I work around people with tons of money, like private jets, and some
Sure.
of them are so unhappy. So I'm just like, get the
Yeah.
basics down.
I was just literally thinking about this yesterday because we were at the beach. We decided to spend the day at the beach. And I was looking around at people who seem to be in joy. And I was asking my wife, does it feel like folks who have access to privilege are differently able to access joy? Because that's what we've been taught, right? Like money won't buy happiness, blah blah blah, blah. But it'll help. But I don't think so because some of the happiest people I know are the folks who like technically have like the least amount of stuff.
I think and I know I'm going off track. Stop me if we need to
No,
get back to
no,
your,
go, go, go.
because a lot of people, especially out here in Hollywood where I work, haven't stopped to think what really makes me happy,
Mm,
And if you have all this money and you have the fame and you're not happy, then you haven't asked yourself that question. For me, it's such simple things, not having drama in my life, having a dog who smiles at me, getting outside. And I didn't ask myself that until probably about 45. So I can imagine how many people, other people out here, because they think that the money and the fame and the recognition is going to make them happy.
yeah,
There's always going to be somebody with more of that than you. So you got to
yeah,
figure it out.
yeah. Do you find yourself still bumping up against that in terms of like the rub, or does it feel really crystal clear now?
It feels so crystal clear to me because it's like, it's when I've really started tracking when I'm happiness, and it has nothing to do with my career. It has to do with the good friends that I have around me and my husband. And sitting there, one day he had a hard conversation with someone, and he just came back in the bed and went, and I just went, because we knew that emotion of having a hard conversation, and we just sat there and understood each other without saying anything. And it's simple like that.
100%. That
Yeah.
we also take advantage of or take for granted those moments, And it's not
I
the glorious moments. It's not the big out loud moments. It's those quiet moments of being together, alone together too.
100%. And in the book that I didn't bring up, the book that you said your wife finished and said was great, that was
No,
one
no,
of the,
she barely started it, and
oh,
she's she's just like, oh my God, yeah. And she's like, no shade, but she's reading isn't like her go-to usually, but she goes to this book.
oh, yeah, that was the reason, because my mom and I worked so hard, and I worked so hard to try to give her a good life. And at the end, you never know how long someone's going to be around for. And the best moments I had with her, we were just sitting there listening to the birds. And I had never listened to birds in my life until my mom went on hospice. And that was such a gift, just realizing all the beauty I have right around me that I was searching for, that's right outside my door.
Hmm. I just gotta take a moment there because that was just hmm because I think also for you to be able to even just in that moment recognize like bird song and its significance and the fact that you hadn't really heard it before, and what a gift. Like, I think like that's when you find the gifts in tragedies too,
Ooh.
like when you're able to say, yes, and now I actually am able to soak up life in a different way because of this thing, because it's a, it's a, I haven't lost my parents physically yet. Um, I can't imagine. And also, I know uh, the fact that that's able to give life is a gift.
It truly is. And I think about how much time I wasted. My mom, she was 64, I was 35.
Uh,
And I literally think about if the only thing that's certain on this earthly plane is that we don't know how long we have, and it could be tomorrow, why are we living the way we live? Like we listen to the birds, stop and listen to the birds. They're free. Like,
for real.
and it's now that I've had that experience with her, I wake up every morning grateful that some people live in an area where they don't hear birds. I get to hear birds every single morning. And it's
And
a
doesn't it
blessing.
make you feel like no matter what happens, as long as the birds are still singing, like we're gonna be all right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I love it. I love it so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I also have like a really strong connection specifically to birds. But I have been just really trying to connect differently to nature. Because in Philly, in some places like where we live, access to nature can be a little bit trickier, So like that's why I have these like plants behind me, and I like jokingly call our bathroom like the forest because I have plants in there,
I
So
love
being
that.
able to find it where you can, I think is also a gift, and not just saying like, oh, I can only be happy when, the like
Yes,
constant
yes,
grasping after the thing.
yes,
Yeah. Or
yes.
I'm gonna move it forward.
Okay.
Okay. um, what helps you feel the most comfortable in the skin that you're in, or what I like to call connected to yourself? And I say self as your sexually embodied life force. So some people call it your essence, your spirit, your source, your core. Um, and I can just start since you started the last one, but I think honestly for me, what I just described, I've noticed the power. I'm a Scorpio, like a triple Scorpio, and being in water is a different way of like cleansing and being connected to self. But growing up, I grew up in a family where we only had one bathroom our whole lives, and so we would have to rush, you know what I mean, to take showers, and so I was always in, out, in, out. And now I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I'm a whole grown ass woman with only one other person living with me, and we pay the water bill. So, like, I don't have to worry about somebody yelling at me for that. So now I take my time in the shower and put on some really dope music. My favorite song these days is Holy by Jamila. Have you heard this song? Holy.
No.
I'll send that to you too.
Okay.
It's a play on I woke up this morning with my mind set on, instead of Jesus, she says on loving me. So that plus the shower in our forest bathroom just helps me feel all the way connected,
Oh,
of course.
that sounds beautiful. And I'm going to steal from you a little
Yes,
bit
yes, do it.
because wait, the one bathroom thing, but also growing up, we never, we looked at anything that was extra as frivolous and unneeded. And for me, one of the things, again, happened in my 40s, wearing lots of color. Like I never cared about clothes, but now that I live a couple minutes from a Goodwill outlet where you can go in and dive by the pound. I could bring home yellows and blues and greens and try them out on me when before it was just like, what can I do to rush through so I can get ready for work and just put on something that's clean? But I found that really dressing how I want in usually in bright, vibrant colors
Yeah,
makes so much of a difference in how I feel. And I hadn't given any credence to that because I grew up with you're lucky to have a shirt. So,
I know. And us too, like we were taught that your one thing had to go with everything else. So like it had to be more neutral based because it had to mix and match with everything else in your closet.
yep, yep,
Uh-huh.
yep.
I think that's why I turned to bright ass lipstick too, because it was just like a way to accentuate, and have fun. We're about to go thrifting after this too, so I feel you on the thrift.
Ooh, I mean, in Minnesota, they have three Goodwill outlets. And I said, I'm literally plotting out how fast I can get to each one.
Oh
Like,
my God.
it's the biggest.
That's when me and my wife said that you need a head cam. You know what I mean? Like a little thing just for people to follow you around. Like which one is she going to be at today? I
Yeah,
love
man, that's my dream. That makes me happy talking about happiness.
I'm saying, yeah, thrifting is life. Thrifting is life. Okay, I'm gonna keep us moving. Okay. Okay. What is your gift or medicine that you offer?
Wow. I would say my ability to listen.
Mm.
I enjoy it. And again, this is something I've had to learn to do. I realized I was one of those people who was always anxious and wanted to, when's my turn to talk? Not to an annoying degree, but just, not really taking in the gift that is someone stopping to share part of their life with me.
Mm.
And to me, I love listening to people. Like a kiss came from the dog park this morning, and this man showed me his arm. He's about 70, he had a big cut on his arm, and it got stitched up. And he was like, I haven't seen you in 3 months. And I was like, oh, he remembers me. And he was just telling me about his hospital stay. And I told him, well, you look like a badass. He was like, that's good because I'm a chump. And just, it was just a nice conversation with a man that I see once in a while. I don't even know his name, but people want to be listened to. And I'm at the place now where, since I have slowed down in life, I don't feel rushed. I can listen to people. So that's my gift, I would say.
And that's a blessing because I feel like a gift is one that is reciprocal, like you're doing it in like a way that's life-giving and also not just transactional.
Yeah, yeah.
That I would say my gift is connected but not connected per se. I, for whatever reason, have this ability for folks to say, I don't know why I just told you that, or I never told anybody that before, or and the thing that I'm trying to learn more as I get older now is recognizing it and embracing it as a gift
Mm.
versus just being like dismissive or like, well, everybody does that, or that ain't no thing. Hmm.
Yes. No, it's so funny. You are. It's amazing to me that you don't see how you're like that. I even remember your face as I was sitting there at my book reading, and I'm sitting there and for the first time admitting some things. And I remember looking right at you. But no, you have a warm, caring presence about you.
Oh, thank you. Well, I feel like that goes hand in hand with what you were saying about being a good listener because I feel like you have to be able to be open in order for folks to feel both
Mm.
safe and also even like, do you even care what I'm saying right now? It
Yes.
requires being slow, like you said, and a
Yeah,
level of
yeah.
like not being distracted by even just your own thoughts,
Yes.
like your grocery
Yeah.
list or whatever. So,
Yes.
okay, I'm gonna do one last one, and then we're
Okay.
closing. This is one of those beauty pageant ones I talked about. This one's yours. Um, why do you think we're on this earth? I want so badly to like follow up with like where did that come from? You know what I mean? But I just want, yeah.
No,
It's
because as I've been talking about my book, it's
mm,
just been at the forefront of my mind because I've seen my mother as she was transitioning to the other side, and there's something there. There is, without it, I did not feel that until I saw her. And
wow.
so I'm just like, what? I really think this is a hard ass test we're in. I just feel like, and the point is to get back to love. And just, I
Mm.
really, really do. And because that's the most powerful emotion. And if I heard someone talking like this years ago, I'd have been like, oh, that whoopsie doo, like, oh, meditation and manifestation. But it really, what feels the best, and it's love. And I just feel like we're here to learn how to love through all these tragedies that we go through.
I like if I could access my full range of feelings right now. I had to take a Benadryl earlier, so it's like numbing my feelings, but I can feel myself get teary because that to me shouldn't be such a hard lesson, but it is. Especially well, self-love for real. Like
Oh,
unpacking the way in which we really need to love ourselves through the hurt that we've gotten generationally, you know what I mean? Like I come from a long line of secret tellers and like
mm.
hardcore colonizers, and colonized.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
love yourself through that is like a whole thing, but also being able to find compassion for each other and find love for each other right now is the
Yes,
whole point. That's what I think we're on earth to do too, as humans.
yes.
Which is
Yeah.
why sometimes when I look around, I'm like, y'all, we're doing it so wrong. Like we have a chance to do better, but all we control is ourselves.
Yes. And that one time that you show, I was recently talking to someone and I thought the moments in my life that I remember are the moments of pure love, whether it was a teacher stopping to just give me a compliment or just the man today at the dog park realizing that he took 3 months off, he lives alone, he has no kids, and he came back and somebody recognized him. Like that makes me want to tear up. Like
Ah,
we have forgotten somehow how to just human and because of all this other stuff we have around. So yeah, I'm with you, girl.
thank you.
Oh, thank you. I'm like, I want to hug you through
I
this.
know, virtual hug. Well, that leads us to the next part. I'm gonna go like this and circle us in, which is around. So I need to get your address because I'll be sending you an actual like joy bag. Um, but what brings you joy? Like, what helps you get through the dark times? Not necessarily a constant, but just yeah, what's joyful for you?
Gratefulness. And again, that's one of those things that would sound crazy to me, but
Yeah.
it really grounds me waking up. And if I have anxiety, stopping and saying, wait, there's a smiling dog right there. Oh my goodness, I get to talk to you today. I get talking to you is literally was one of the top things I was grateful today. Like just exchanging words with another human being
Right.
and realizing how many people don't have that and just pure gratefulness. I'm breathing right now. It's sunny outside. There's just so many things to be grateful for.
100%. I honestly have to say the same thing that whenever I'm feeling really dark and blue, being able to access gratitude and beauty to me kind of go hand in hand. Like if I can find beauty in even the smallest ways, like your sparkle in your eye, like it's so bright, your sparkle is so bright, like I can feel it through all these states, which is the beauty of Zooms and things like that. So yeah, beauty and gratitude and just to the point that we keep talking about slowing down long enough to recognize that
Mhm.
you're in it. And it doesn't take anything. You can take one moment to take a breath and say, I'm thankful.
Yes, yes, that's what I do. Sometimes I find myself rushing through things that I don't need to rush through, like even filling up my water bottle. And I'll think,
Yeah.
this is okay, your water bottle might take a few seconds to fill up. You could take that time to take some breaths and be grateful that you have fresh water in your house.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah. And I think also just even thinking about meditation as like an engagement practice like that too, like it doesn't involve you sitting on a cushion. Like it really involves you just slowing down enough to be grateful in the moment and be present
Yes,
and connect with self. Like that's the whole point.
yes,
Uh,
yes.
thank you so much, Angela. So tell us where folks can find you. Do you want to be found? Do you want to like,
Right now I want to be found because I want people to read this book.
yes, tell us all about the book. Where can folks find it?
You can find it anywhere books are sold, small
Great.
independent stores, Amazon. You can find the audiobook on libro.fm, and part of the proceeds go to independent bookstores.
So
And you can find me right now. If people are online, whew, I'm on Instagram most of the time, posting just actually a lot of gratitude for people and for what they're saying about the book and how it's touched them. So
I love
if you
that.
need a dose of gratitude, Angela Nissel on all.
Perfect. You heard it here, folks. Berks. Oh my God, I just invented a new word. You heard it here, Angela, for gratitude and for joy. It's been a true pleasure. I could literally talk to you for so long. But best of luck on all of the things. And I'll look forward to connecting and getting a chance to get my own hands on the book once my wife finishes it.
Okay.
But yeah, sending deep gratitude and joy your way.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.